Hi, I'm Gigi.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
We are a group and we produce an opening for our film, Revenge.
Today we are going to talk about how does our produce use or challenge the codes and conventions, and how does this represent social group and issues.
Our film is showing the noir story like a film noir. So what is film noir? It is a style of or genre of cinematographic film marked by a mood of pessimism, and meanness. The term was originally applied by a group of French critics to American thriller or detective films made in the period 1944 to 54, and to the work of directors such as Orson Welles, Fritz Lang, and Billy Wilder.
I have researched on the internet for film noir target audience. It says film noir has always had arguments over who the target aimed at an older audience of say 40 to 80 years old, because this is the type of the film that this age group would have grown up with as a child. On the other hand, some experts would argue that the younger generations would watch a film noir to try and end an understanding of the whole 1940s lifestyle and how the criminal underworld has developed since then. The target gender is aimed at femmes.
Actually, smells.
Okay, yeah. This introduce a slightly sexist element to film noir, because if it were for a woman, then the main character would be female, and she would be seduced by a man, so that it would add an element to fantasy for the viewer.
And now we are going to see some shots about the conventions. Yeah.
Now, it is establishing shots, which is showing the surroundings of the story is at night, and it is a very common alley and dirty and dim. It's also creating the noir atmosphere. The low angle shot shows it is a view angle from a person, which make the audience feel involved on the film. There are many establishing shots in the film noir films. Most of them are showing the situation in the story to make the audience to imagine that will going on after the clip. Many film noir films include establishing shots, such as Little Caesar.
Actually, Caesar.
Caesar. Such as Little Caesar in 1931. The dramatic purpose of this scene in Little Caesar is to define the relationship between a number of characters. So then I'm going to talk about the low-key lighting. I frame my character in mid-shots. The low angle shows he is powerful. The low-key lighting is necessary element in film noir. By using the lines of lamp in the streets from the back of the character, I created a low-key lighting to show my protagonist is malicious and full of mystery. The low-key lighting also convey a noir atmosphere and mood. There are many examples of low-key lighting in the film noir films. For example, Blade Runner uses low-key lighting to reflect the narrative. The dark blue sky shows the protagonist is walking on the streets in the early evening. It gives the information to audience is that it is a film noir film. It also shows the time in the scene is around 6 o'clock in the afternoon, which is rush hour, but it is quiet in the streets. I use this create the common dirty and dim alley. The atmosphere which the mise-en-scène creates is linking the narrative of this film is a noir story.
And now is another example of low-key lighting. And this is also a shot for our protagonist. However, in this shot, we framed in another side of the protagonist. The low-key lighting creates a very clear line of shadow and light that the front of his body is covered by the dark. This shows that the third image of him to the other people may be a bad person. And the things he wanted to do, that he wants to kill his foster father, broke the rules. This shows that he is a rebel person. However, the light on his back shows that he is still having some good thing in his mind. That means he still can be a good person. Linked to narrative, it shows the restoration of equilibrium possible, since it gives the same possibility to the audience if he is a good person or a bad person. And now I want to talk about the private eye, the protagonist. Here is the protagonist and he is called Alan. Although protagonist is normally the hero of noir, this is according to Probst's character theory. Here we have challenged the character. In original film noir style film, private eye normally would be the detective or police. However, in our film, the private eye is a killer, which is usually the character of villain, according to Probst's theory. However, we still identify him as the hero, the character which is seen as detectives or police, as he is investigating the reason of his father's death. Also, he is a good guy. From some scene it will show this, and this makes a mystery that is he a good person, or we can say that he is a hero, or a bad person that we can call him the villain.
So next I'm going to talk about the femme fatale. Showed the femme fatale character by using a mid-shot. Mid-shots are used for dialogue sequences, and they allow the viewer to pick up on the character's movements and gestures. In this scene, the femme fatale is having a conversation with a man. I use mid-shots to show the woman is sitting and keeping silence. She is beautiful, having a long hair and makeup emphasize the brows, ears, and lip. There are symbols of femme fatale, so I used these symbols to show the femme fatale that I'm creating. The camera type of femme fatale was derived from the anti-hero vamps of early cinema, such as Sida Bora in a Fro there was in 1913.
Actually, it's 1915.
Oh, 15.
Yeah, and here is another shot for femme fatale. In this shot, we use mid-shot but almost showing her whole body to show that she holds the wine glass and still having the conversation with the protagonist. In this shot, it shows that she is independent, even though she needs to use her appearance to attract male, to achieve her goal. She is still powerful. This is another characteristic of femme fatale, that they normally are strong and powerful and they don't have to depend on men. Also, they can even use those men to help them achieve their goal. In this film, Cassandra, the femme fatale, does the same thing. She just wants to use Ellen to achieve her goal, but we don't know what was her goal.
I used a 180-degree rule to show these two people are chatting with each other. The 180-degree rule can enables the audience to visually connect with unseen movement happening around and behind the immediate subject and is important in the narrative of the battle scenes, such as Blade Runner. There are many 180-degree routes, which are showing what situation that the characters in and make the audience feel themselves are in the communication. And I let the character run on the dark streets, which was yellow street line, to create the atmosphere of this scene of frightening. Although we use the everyday urban settings to make what was happening seem even more real to viewer. This is also used in noir-style film, as normally in that kind of films, the setting is at the wrong end of the town and doggy areas to everyday locations. To here, it is a dark street and it seems as the doggy area. In addition, the physical expression of the character is showing he is afraid of something which is chasing him. It creates the horrible atmosphere since the audiences don't know what is chasing the character, and this is also a mystery which in noir style film it is quite often to send the mystery to the audiences.
And now we continue to talk about the mise-en-scène. Here we use the long shot to show the mise-en-scène where the protagonist walks. I think we have slightly changed the mise-en-scène of the film noir. Here we use the everyday urban setting to make what was happening that is more real to the audience. However, it's usually at the wrong end of town or dodgy areas. I don't think this is where it is quite in a dodgy area or the wrong end in the town. Also, it normally would not be so bright and clean. Normally it would be raining and in the damp street. In this scene, because the light of the street lamp is too bright, that makes the location become very bright. In addition, we filmed this scene in the evening. The sky was not fully dark yet. Usually it should be quite thin and dark, and it should be at night. And here we have a close-up shot about the protagonist's father. He is punching somebody, so it is quite shadowing. The close-up shots often show what characters feeling or some specific things. Here we use this shot is for showing the emotion of father. The expression of the father shows he is very angry, and this can also show his personality as well, that he is a person who is are easy to get angry and often using violence. It is a specific short since we want to use this short to solve a social issue in family. In Alice's family, his father is a Roe who is often angry and always use violence to solve problems. This will lead to the domestic violence. He is the character that we want to represent the social issue of domestic violence, and this is also a social group in the society. Since usually the perpetrator is man and the victim is the women in family, and the men are dominant, easy get angry, and often using violence. So here are all our speak. And thank you for listening.